Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Welcome to a session on the big news, and in today's session let's try and understand the recent current affairs, very important topic for you, that is India-Bangladesh Friendship Pipeline, in short IBFP. Now before looking at certain background points related to all of this, that is the importance of the project, etc., let's look at certain factual information here. This is a pipeline that has been constructed and connecting two parts, that is two areas, from Siliguri-based marketing terminal of Numaligarh Refinery Limited (NRL) to Parbatipur depot of Bangladesh Petroleum Corporation (BPC). That is, from India the pipeline will originate, will run till this particular point in Bangladesh. Now this pipeline will be used for transportation of diesel. Now what are the other important points? The length of the pipeline will be 131 kilometers or 131.5 kilometers. Most of it, that is more than 126 kilometers of this length, will be on the other side of the border, that is in Bangladesh. Only around 5 kilometers will be present in India. Sir, why did we construct this? Right? What is the importance of this pipeline? Let's understand this. Bangladesh as such is an energy deficit country. It is energy deficit country, meaning what? It imports lot of materials related to electricity, power, etc. We'll come to the electricity later, but even in the context of, let's say, fuels, they import a lot of these fuels. And India as of now had a railway line of length 512 kilometers, using which this fuel, that is a diesel, was transported to Bangladesh, from India to Bangladesh. Now the problem with this railway line is the length is higher, that is railway line is longer like this, distance covered is longer. As a result of this, cost of transportation will be higher, and because we are going to use railways, emissions, that is carbon emissions, will also be higher. Now looking at all of this, there was an agreement that was signed between India and Bangladesh, and later in the session we'll have a look at other multiple agreements between India and Bangladesh related to, let's say, energy, electricity, power, etc. So there was an agreement that was signed between India and Bangladesh back in 2017, and the construction of this pipeline started in 2018, was supposed to be over much before, but because of the pandemic there was a delay in the construction of the project, and finally now the project is ready. And both the sides, that is heads of both the sides, came together very recently in a virtual meeting and launched this particular project, that is India-Bangladesh Friendship Pipeline. What is the use of the pipeline? Point number one, the distance that now the diesel has to be carried for, the distance automatically will come down. Rather than 500 plus kilometers, now we need to ensure diesel will be transported only for around 132 kilometers. So as a result of this, cost of transportation will come down. That is automatically the advantage. Cost of transportation will come down, and this is expected to become cheaper, which will help the Bangladesh Petroleum Corporation to sell it at a lower price in their country. That's a second very important advantage. Third one, as usual, because the cost of transportation is lower, emissions will also be lower. That is, automatically cost will be lower because we are not using the railway lines now. The emissions cost will also be lower. These are certain very important advantages on the face of this project between India and Bangladesh. And the cost of the project, the total cost of the project, is said to be around 377 crore rupees. Most of it is on the side of Bangladesh, but Government of India has provided a grant in order to develop this particular project even in Bangladesh. Now these are certain very important points. Now what is the importance of the project beyond the financials? Beyond reduction in the cost, reduction in the prices in Bangladesh, reduction in the emission, reduction in the distance covered, what are the other important points? Right, let's go one by one. Like I said earlier, Bangladesh is an energy deficit country. it imports a lot of these energy products into their country and supplies it to various consumers in the market. Is it just going to import diesel from India using this pipeline? They are going to import diesel. But do they import anything else apart from diesel? Answer is yes. India exports a lot of electricity to Bangladesh. More than 1100 megawatt of electricity is being supplied, is exported to Bangladesh, and they are using it and they are supplying it to customers, or let's say consumers. In this context, let's focus on one more very important agreement. Remember this. In this context, let's focus on one more very important agreement, as a result of which Indian party, that is Indian side, is helping a construction of a thermal power plant at Bagherat district, Khulna division in Bangladesh. And this project name is referred as a Maitree thermal power plant. Now, what is this Maitree thermal power plant? Both the sides, that is India and Bangladesh, there are two parties here, that is Bangladesh Power Development Board and NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation. Both of them have come together and they are implementing this project as a joint venture, 50-50 as a joint venture. And for the construction of this thermal power plant, there is a company which has been established. Like I said, it's a joint venture. There is a company which has been established, and the name of the company is Bangladesh India Friendship Power Company Limited. I repeat, Bangladesh India Friendship Power Company Limited. So 50% of it is owned by BPDB and 50% by NTPC. And it is this company which is responsible for the implementation, or let's say the construction or the development of Maitree thermal power plant. At this particular Maitree thermal power plant, two units of 660 megawatts each have been proposed. One of the unit has started and second unit is in the process of being developed. That's a second very important type of a trade relation, or let's say the relation between India and Bangladesh. Now, why is this point very important? I'm pretty sure all of you have been reading regarding Chinese investments in India's neighboring countries. China has invested heavily in Sri Lanka and many other Asian nations which have trade relations or beyond trade relations with India. Now, there is also growing concern that China's investments in Bangladesh, especially in the energy sector, have been rising, have been increasing. And within Bangladesh also, various experts have raised a concern over what this kind of a debt will do to Bangladesh. For example, they are basically taking the scenario of Sri Lanka and they are saying the same thing, that is basically the problem of debt could take place even in Bangladesh. That is where India's outreach will become very, very important. So one, we already have trade relations with Bangladesh, right? Is it okay? I'll repeat it again. India already has very good trade relations with Bangladesh. India exports a lot of these goods, or let's say the merchandises, to Bangladesh. And in the last 5 years, the trade between India and Bangladesh has almost doubled. If you look at the latest data, India's exports to Bangladesh are over $16 billion. So it is one of the very important trade partner for us. Point number 2, we are already negotiating, we are in the process of negotiating Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, that is CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement with Bangladesh. And once this agreement is signed, we expect the trade between India and Bangladesh, especially from the Indian side, to more than double. From somewhere around $16 billion, we expect it to double to more than $32 billion. So this is one more very important point. Third very important point regarding the security issue. Security in the sense, India is concerned about more and more, or let's say higher presence of Chinese investments in the neighboring countries. So we are trying to up our game. We are trying to improve our presence in Bangladesh as well. And the fourth very important point is for Bangladesh itself. Like already mentioned twice now, Bangladesh is an energy deficit country. And in the last 1 year, thanks to the war between Russia and Ukraine, the energy prices have shot up. The gas prices have shot up, fuel prices have shot up. And as a result of this, this had a negative impact on economy of Bangladesh. How? They have not been able to purchase the energy products in the spot market because the prices are very, very high. And because they are not able to purchase these products to supply electricity in the domestic market, many of the textile units have not been able to produce to the expected limit. In fact, in and around Dhaka, multiple times there have been cuts in the electricity supply. There have been blackouts for many of the times in these regions, which has negatively affected the economic growth prospects of Dhaka economy, or let's say Bangladesh's economy. So these are certain very, very important points regarding the engagement between India and Bangladesh. Now beyond this, let me focus on one more point here. I have written a third point. Bangladesh is also awaiting power from Adani Group's 1600 megawatt thermal power station at Godda in Jharkhand. This was there in the newspaper. What is the reason? In 2017, there was an agreement that was signed between the BPDB as well as Adani Power. And this agreement was for a period of 25 years. That is for a period of 25 years. Now electricity, 1600 megawatts of electricity will be supplied from this thermal power plant to Bangladesh. Now with all the things that have been happening in relation to Adani's group of enterprises, Bangladesh came out with a statement saying that they want a review of this agreement. They want this agreement to be relooked, redesigned all over again. Why? The argument of Bangladesh companies or Bangladesh Power Development Board is that when this agreement was signed, the coal prices have been taken at a higher level. Right? The coal prices are decided is a $400 per metric ton. Whereas, this party wants it not to be kept at $400, they want it to be dragged down to $250. So they want this agreement to be renegotiated all over again. So these are the various important points related to the trade relations, or let's say the friendship relations between India as well as Bangladesh. Now based on this discussion, I've given an MCQ. Consider the following statements regarding BIFPCL, that is Bangladesh India Friendship Power Company Limited. Right, as already mentioned, it's a joint venture between BPDB as well as NTPC. It's a joint venture between NTPC and BPDB. Statement 1 is correct. Electricity produced will be equally shared between India and Bangladesh. Statement 2 is wrong. Statement 2 is wrong. Why? 100% of electricity that is produced will be given to Bangladesh. And one more point here. This project, right, is being financed by one of the schemes of Government of India. Remember this, there is a scheme of Government of India referred to as Concessional Lending Scheme. Concessional Lending Scheme, and this project is being covered under Concessional Lending Scheme. So right option for this question will be option A, only one is correct. So these are the various angles, or let's say various aspects of the things that I wanted to discuss with you in the context of India and Bangladesh. If you like these initiatives, please hit the like button. Provide your valuable comments in the section below. And if you are yet to subscribe to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS, kindly do it now. Thank you. Have a great day.